Hello children, welcome to CA session. Students, today we will continue the same chapter, chapter 2, Internet Services and Mobile Technologies. Students, in this chapter today we will study about search engines, means it is also a services over the internet. Search engine is actually a program used to search information over the internet. And this program search databases of various websites. Every website have lots of data and that data is stored in databases. It is not necessary that the information on the website is static. It can be dynamic also. If it isn't static, that means information will be there in HTML, and if it is dynamic, that means some of the information or most of the information is stored in the databases. So here students, there are some search engines like google.com, bing.com, search.yahoo.com, ask.com, amazon.com, etc. So these are the search engines used to search various information over the internet. So students, first of all, finding information using search engine. First of all, you have to open the web browser. In the web browser, you have to type the address of the search engine. So what you have to type? You have to type www.google.com or www.bing.com or any search engine you have to write in the address bar of the web browser, then its home page will open. Then after that, you will be able to see a search box. In that search box, you have to type the information that you want to search, and then you have to click on search button. After that, after clicking on the search button, the links of various websites will be displayed containing the information that you have written in the search box. Then you can click on any website that you want to visit. Now students, how search engine works? There are three methods by which it works. So first of all, there are spiders. We can also call them web crawlers, bots, agents, etc. So these spiders, or we can also call them robots. Okay. So these spiders used to crawl over various websites. Okay. So it is a software which will crawl over one server to another server, because websites are kept on the server. So it will simply crawl all the documents and the web addresses over the web servers, and then they will find necessary information. That information will be saved by the robots. Okay, so these spiders will save the information which is found over the various websites they crawl, and they will save the website URL, the page on which the information is found, then the information as well as the time of crawling. Then there is indexing software and database. Indexing software and database is there so that the list of documents crawled by the robots, the list of documents as well as web addresses crawled by the robots will be stored in indexing software, and then it will simply prepare the index of it. Like there is index of our textbook. You have seen the chapter name, then topics, then subtopics and page number. It is very easy to find a topic in a book. The same way here also, whatever information they found on the document and the web addresses, the robots will save it in indexing software that will prepare the index of it and store it in the database. Got it? Means whatever information the robots get, they will prepare index of it, and after that, that information will be saved in a particular database by robots. Now search algorithm. So search engine will actually use some technique. Algorithms are step-by-step solution to a problem. So what is the problem here in the search engine? To find the information. So they will simply have various methods. They will be using some specific algorithms to search the websites. Okay, they can be algorithm from finding from the indexes, or directly if the index is not there, then it can be find like the most famous websites will be visited first, or the websites which were visited the most will be searched first. Okay, so there are criteria. According to that, they will be searching over the web servers. Now students, we will learn some search tips. Okay, like you can simply write any information, the tags that you want to search. You can simply put it into the search box, and then you can click on search button to search something. But how to use those keywords? There are different ways to search keywords over the internet. So first of all, do not ask questions. Like if you are searching for who is the Home Minister of India, then the spider of the search engine will search for who, Home Minister and India, and it will simply ignore is, the, of, etc. Okay, so you can simply write Home Minister India. So it depends the words which we are using and the words the search engine will search for. Then put punctuation marks. So you can either use semicolon or you can use hyphen. If you have to search for a book name, God of Small Things, you can write it like this, God hyphen of hyphen small hyphen things, or you can also write it like this, God semicolon of semicolon small semicolon things. Then you will get websites containing all these keywords. Now, use of wildcard for pattern matching. So, if you have to search for a specific pattern in websites like word that start from dir, so if you write dir and this is the wildcard, asterisk symbol is a wildcard. So if you are writing dir and asterisk symbol, then it will search for all words starting from dir, like direct, direction, directive, director, etc. Now, lowercase are not case sensitive. That means if you write keywords in lowercase, that means it will search in both lowercase as well as means small letter as well as capital letter. But uppercase is case sensitive. That means if you are writing keywords in uppercase, then it will search for uppercase words only. So remember that most of the time if you want to search in both the cases like small letter and capital letter, at that time you should write in small letters only. Now for words or phrases, if you want to search for word or a phrase, then you should use plus symbol. All the words will be included. Like if you want to search for the Boston University, then you should write plus Boston plus University. So both the words will be searched in the websites. Now, word or phrase must not appear. If you want a word or a phrase not to appear in the websites, then you can write plus Asia but minus China. That means Asia word should be there on the websites but China word should not be there. Now students, finding people on net. If you want to search about places, people over the internet, then you can use this search engine. These search engines are for searching places and people over the internet. There are websites like www.123people.com, addresses.com, addresssearch.com, pq.com, people.com, etc. So these search engines you have to open in the web browser. Means in address bar you have to type www.people.com and the search engine will appear. Then you can type the place or the person name to whom you want to search. Then FTP protocol. FTP protocol is actually responsible for uploading and downloading the files over the internet. So FTP server is the place where files are kept. So here FTP protocol is responsible for exchanging files over the internet. As I already told you about the protocols, these are set of rules which are followed. So behind internet there are various protocols which work in the background to do something over the internet. So for files we have FTP protocol. So to download the files from the server and to upload file on the server, we need FTP protocol. That means it will also support TCP/IP protocol because that is the main protocol. TCP/IP is responsible for exchanging data packets over the network. So it can transfer the information over internet or intranet. Intranet is a private network. So TCP is a main protocol used for communication over the internet. So here students, two computers are involved because to upload we need a client computer. Like if you are uploading a file from your computer, that means from your computer you have to enter the file details, means the address of the file in the web browser. That means your computer's web browser will be FTP client. So in that web browser you have to type the file address, okay, address of the file server where the file is and file name. So here students, when you will click on search, then the file will be downloaded from the file server, okay, means FTP server. So FTP server will be another computer where the files are kept. Okay, that means that will be FTP server. So there are two computers involved, an FTP server as well as FTP client. FTP client will be your computer. From there you are sending the request to upload or download the file, and FTP server is the place where your files are kept. So FTP client server softwares used are WinSCP, Smart FTP, FileZilla, Core FTP, Ace FTP, and some of the softwares having versions for Mac operating system, Linux, etc. Okay, there are different operating systems. FileZilla is the most famous, means mostly used FTP client server software. So I have also used FileZilla. It's very easy to use FileZilla. Whenever you purchase space on the web server to keep your website there, the company will provide you some username and means login details. So when you start FileZilla, there are 3 boxes. There you have to enter the website address, then username and the password. When you will click on it, then means if the information is correct, then you will be able to see your folder that is there on the web server. Okay, and then you can access all the files. So from there only you can upload or download the files on the FTP server. So these softwares are used to access the FTP. FTP means your files over the web server. Okay. So in these softwares have different versions for different operating systems also. Like FileZilla we have for Mac operating system also, Windows as well as Linux. Now students, downloading, uploading files from remote site. So here there are few requirements. First of all, we have to connect to FTP server. FTP server is where the FTP is kept. FTP means files are kept. There are companies which are dealing in lots of customers, millions of customers, and then their customers having different projects, many services provided to those customers. So there are millions of services. That means there will be lot of records, the transaction details, etc. So that type of data should be kept somewhere. There are companies, they used to store documents, PDFs, files, etc. So there can be any file and that used to be stored on the server. So at that time, we need to purchase space on the FTP server, and then the company will provide us the login details, means the FTP address, web address, and web address means URL. So they will provide us FTP URL. Then they will provide us username and password. So here FTP web address we have to use username as well as password. Okay, so which software we have to use? Any FTP client server software like FileZilla. Okay, so FileZilla is the most commonly used FTP client server software. So that software we can download from FileZilla website, download it in your computer, then install the software. After that, you will get 3 columns. In that column, you have to enter the FTP web address. Then you have to write username, and in the third box, you have to put password. After that, you have to click on login. When it is successfully login, you will be able to see the complete folder that you have kept there. And if the folder is empty, then you can keep your files over there because you have already purchased space on the FTP server and you will be able to access that space. So here first of all, connecting FTP server and uploading, downloading files. So you have to open Windows Explorer first. Either you can use FileZilla software or you can also log in from the Windows Explorer or File Explorer in your computer. We used to have Windows Explorer in our computer. So you have to double click on the Windows Explorer. It will open and there will be the address bar. In address bar, you have to type the FTP URL. See, this is the example of FTP URL. ftp:/ftp.freestone.net. So on the freestone.net, we have FTP folder. There the files are kept. So we have to access FTP protocol here. That means we are going to give access to the file transfer protocol so that it can send the request of FTP as well as it can receive the request of the FTP. Now, in address bar, we have to type this address. So there can be any address for your FTP server details. In address bar, you have to type the address and then you have to enter username and password. After that, the Windows Explorer will successfully connect to the FTP server if your details are correct. Now, What is uploading the file? Uploading means to upload file from your computer to the server computer. That means FTP server. Downloading the files, that means copying file. Means downloading the file from FTP server to your computer. That means copying file from FTP server and pasting it on your computer. Now students, remote login and file transfer protocols. Remote login means connecting to the internet. So before that we have to provide username and password to connect to the remote host, so that we can have internet connection in our computer. So here there is telnet protocol. The protocol used to log on into the remote computer system. So telnet will be the protocol which will be internet utility software. Okay, it will let us to log on into remote computer systems. If the computer which is there on the internet, we can also connect to that computer, means the remote host computer, to have internet connectivity in our computer. So here how telnet works. First of all, we need a telnet client software. Like if you are purchasing internet dongle, Wi-Fi device, then you have to connect it to your computer. How it will be connected? There will be a software provided by the company. So in that software, what you have to do? You have to enter username and password provided by the company, means ISP. So here we will enter, means in telnet client software, we will enter the details. Okay, then it will make, means our computer makes a connection to a telnet server over internet. Okay, that means we will be able to transfer the data over the TCP/IP network. Now, after connection, our client become virtual. Means as soon as the login details are checked, we will be connected, means our computer will be connected to the remote host. That means our computer, our client software will become a virtual terminal. Means a virtual computer, and it will allow us to communicate with the remote host. Now, then we have to type various telnet based commands, like whatever we want to access on the remote host, we can write commands from it. Okay, so we have to type the telnet based commands on the telnet client computer, that will be our computer, which are sent to remote telnet server. Whatever commands we will enter in the telnet client computer, it will be sent to the remote telnet server. Now, another connection is SSH. It is a secure shell protocol. Now, secure shell means, see, the telnet is not secure. SSH is secure because it is using a secure shell for the connection between the client computer and the remote host. It is a remote logging protocol that logs into the remote machine via shell, where all data between the client and server is encrypted. Whatever data is sent from the client computer to the remote server, the connection will be totally encrypted. Means the data which is sent from our computer to the remote server, it will be converted to another language that third party, means hackers, cannot understand. So if this is SSH client, means our computer, that is a secure shell protocol based client computer, then this is the connection between the SSH server and the client computer. So this connection will be secure. Okay, you can see a secure shell will be there in the network, and the data which is sent from here to here will be totally in encrypted form, means some other language, means a cipher text, so that third party cannot understand it. And the data transfer, means from here to here as well as from here to here, will be based on the secure shell, and it will be in encrypted form, and the data will be sent to the SSH server. Means server will also be a secure shell protocol based server, because it will be taking data from the network and then converting it to original data again. Then we will be able to see original data over the SSH server. Okay, if we are sending, means if we want to take some data from SSH server also, that data also comes in a encrypted form in our computer, and then as our computer will be based on SSH, it will again decrypt the data into the original data. Now students, we will study about SCP. It is also a protocol. SCP means secure copy. Its full form is secure copy protocol, and it will allow you to copy file between two servers. Okay, two devices which are connected together. There we can transfer the file. Copying the file means either uploading the file or downloading file from the server. So here students, there will be the data transfer with encryption benefits of SSH. Encryption benefit of SSH was that the files which are sent from our computer to the remote computer will be encrypted. There will be a secure shell. So same functionality will be there also in SCP, but here SCP will be having its own set of commands. Like you might have seen, there are some similarities between Instagram, WhatsApp and Facebook. But you know very well all these three are different softwares with a bit of different functionalities, look and feel, etc. So same here. Here in SCP, the connection will be secure, but it will be having its own set of commands which we will use to log into the remote host with secure connection. Now next is SFTP. SFTP is another version of FTP, means advanced version, in which S means secure. That means here the file transfer will be totally secured. It will not be like FTP which is unsecure. So here SFTP ensure data safety by taking these measures. These measures will be taken by SFTP. What are those? First of all, there will be client authentication. That means if we are accessing SFTP from our computer will be SFTP client. Then we have to enter username and password to authenticate our computer so that we can have internet connection. Means we can connect to FTP server. So here the connection will be authenticated by the server, and then after that data will be transferred over the secure shell. In SSH, in secure copy as well as in SFTP, there will be a secure shell. That means the data transferred will be in form of encryption. So all data is encrypted. Whatever we send will be encrypted, will be converted into the cipher text. Means a different language but that nobody can understand. So the data will be encrypted before being sent on the network. And apart from that, it will encrypt command as well as data both. Okay, the command that we enter to send the data as well as the data also is encrypted in SFTP. So it is totally secure. Now web services. Web services means some other services available over the internet. So those are, first of all, chat. Chat you are very much familiar. Online textual softwares are there in which we can simply send text messages online and it can be received instantly and we can reply instantly on it. So here students, there are various websites, then various softwares, apps available in which we can send the textual messages instantly. So those are known as IM. Another one is chat room. So in chat we can simply communicate with a single person. Then chat room means the group of people will be connected to it. So it can be a website in which we can simply create a chat room, or it can be an online service. So here it will be an online venue for communities user. Those who want to be part of that group, they will be there in the group as well as they will be able to send messages instantly. They will be able to communicate there. So here in chat room, the group of people will be able to send text messages instantly and they can communicate with each other in the group. So students, other web services we will study in next video. So I hope you understood this. Thank you. Have a nice day.